to another video, and we're here. It's another beautiful day in South Florida.
In South Florida, people.
So today we decided just to come, go for a little ride around the river of Fort Lauderdale. And then today we're going to tell you guys all about our last 3 years, what it has been the experience of living on a boat. But we're not going to talk about the positive things, we're going to talk about the really hard things, the really rough things, and the things that you guys don't see in the videos, because sometimes it's so easy to see how beautiful the landscape is, how beautiful the ocean is, and all the amazing things, but you don't really see the hard things and the things that we have really struggled with. Channel, you know that we have really done some amazing things, experienced the most, amazing experiences, just like with dolphins, sharks, turtles, kiteboarding, scuba diving, snorkeling, spearfishing, by just being able to live on the boat. I think that doesn't come without a big portion of, I guess in a way, I can't, for lack of better words, I think sacrifice. So today we are going to talk about 10 things that are really freaking hard about living on a boat. You know, you don't really get to see them when you're watching our videos, just because it's so much easier to pick up the camera when things are amazing, when everything's perfect, versus when you're going through a really crappy moment, yeah, rough time. And so yeah, let's go. What's the first one, Alejo?
I think one of the hardest things is the passages, because you barely get any sleep.
And I think unless you're like a sailor at heart, where you just love like crossing oceans and sailing, that may be a different scenario. But for most of us, we want to live on the boat just to experience those amazing moments. But we don't really care much for the sailing. The passages are freaking hard, they're exhausting. And so the fact is that, for instance, for us, last year when we wanted to sail the Caribbean, we had that time frame that we needed to be in Grenada for hurricane season, and so we had to move fast and we had to move often, regardless of whether we were feeling like it or not, because we couldn't get caught in hurricane season, in the middle of the Caribbean. I kind of got a little bit seasick here and there, and so it was for me like so hard to just be away, to even have a conversation with him. You don't have anything else to do. Like, I couldn't read, I couldn't really do anything else, because it was just, I would get sick, like sick to my stomach. So I wouldn't want to cook, I wouldn't want to eat anything, but then if I didn't eat, it would become harder.
The second thing will be that everything breaks on a boat. So imagine taking your house and just shaking it and see what happens. So yeah, everything breaks, and when things break, obviously you get stressed out because you have to fix them. Sometimes there's no one to help you around.
Everything that you have on a boat is essential, right? So everything is something that you need. For instance, so if the water maker, something about it doesn't work, you're like, well shoot, now I can't make water, which means now I can't shower, now I can't brush my teeth, now I can't do laundry, now I can't, like clean the boat, or even like drink water, right? You don't really have people to help you, so you have to become very self-sufficient, which is something positive about living on the boat, is that you become very resourceful, self-sufficient. You, like Alejo, he learned how to be a plumber, electrician.
Learn everything, a little bit of everything. Now my theory is like, I try to fix it. If it doesn't work, at least I tried, and then I just keep searching like for a solution, and that's it.
So point number 3, this is something that might not be the case for everyone living on a boat. For us, just keeping the boat in tip-top shape was really hard, because as you know, we have 2 massive dogs, hairy dogs, that make it very inconvenient to keep a small space clean. Just in general, like a small space obviously gets dirty faster, just because you don't have that much space to be around, and so you always leave something here and there or whatever. But the fact that we had 2 dogs, we always took our dogs out 2 times a day. So in the morning and at night, we just felt like, it's such a small space. They already living on board with us. We would take them to shore twice a day. Shore it's usually 95% of the time it's sand, obviously. So you're getting to beaches, that means that their paws, they're always full of sand when they come back to the boat. They're super hairy, they shed a lot. A lot.
Plus with that, it's like taking out the dogs with the rain or when it's cold. Or that the beach, like it has like rough waves.
Yeah.
And the dogs get all wet, so the boat, like once they get back to the boat gets wet.
And they're super salty, and now you have salt and you have water. Like, yeah, it's just a lot. Point number 4. Wait, I think I didn't do like this before. Okay, point number 4. You are far from family and friends. And at the beginning, when we started living on the boat, I thought I could live in an island just by myself, and I didn't need anyone except Alejo and my dogs. And it turns out that you actually miss family and friends, and you actually miss talking to people.
Sometimes, like the locations, it's not easy for them to come to visit, or for you to just leave the boat sitting anywhere and just go visit. So it makes it hard.
You know, when we were sailing through the Caribbean, because we were moving fast and often, and we would be in remote places, we didn't really get to meet people. So, I mean, we love spending time together. We're best friends. We have an awesome relationship. We get along super well. But even then, like sometimes you just want to do something different, right? Like just going out and having a drink with friends or something like that. And so if you're not in a city or like an urban area or somewhere where at least there's people, you struggle with that. And even when you do find that, right, when you make that group of friends in boat life, and when you have friends that are living the same lifestyle that you have, you enjoy it for some time, and then it's just gone because you always have to part ways. You're always going a different way, and you know, they're heading somewhere else and you're heading somewhere else. And
just imagine being in an island with someone else and
just alone. Yeah.
I mean, you can call someone, but it's not the same to sharing in a room or like in a house. Point number 5 will be the internet. For us that we work online, it was really hard. We were using like SIM cards from other countries and then just using hotspot, and that could be really slow, and mostly when you're a little bit away from shore, so the antenna might be a little bit far. So we had all these things to like signal boosters, Wi-Fi rangers. We had everything.
It makes it really hard when you have to work, and it's like if you're retired, this is not something that you have to worry about, because then the internet and accessing the internet becomes something like a luxury more than a need. For us, because we still have to work and because we were working remotely, for us it's like a basic need to have internet access, right? You know, it was always unreliable. One day we had great signal, one day we didn't, and so it just becomes stressful that you can't work. And like Alejo said, we had everything that we could have in order to be able to have good Wi-Fi. But it was always a new struggle. Like we were able to have good Wi-Fi for a couple of months, and that was because of services like
My Island Wi-Fi.
My Island Wi-Fi. Yeah, exactly. My Island Wi-Fi in the Bahamas, and then there was another service that was like international Wi-Fi, international data. With one SIM card regardless of the countries, and then they canceled it, and the second that they canceled that international service, like it was horrible. Yeah, it was miserable. We were trying to get Wi-Fi. Now everyone's Wi-Fi is protected. You never get open Wi-Fi anywhere. You try to, you know, it sucks. Like
I guess now it should be a little bit better with Starlink.
With Starlink,
But
yeah.
I don't, like, we haven't used it, so we don't know how it is.
Yeah. Point number 6, accessing food.
That's a hard one, people. No ice cream. No ice cream for you people. Not in every island you get to see the food that you like when you're in land. So you can see, you could get like, I don't know, sometimes some fruits, or let's say like in Grenada, it was really hard getting tomatoes. Depends on the island, it depends the food that you get. Also remember, you have to take your dinghy to land, pack everything in the dinghy, hopefully it doesn't rain, and then go back to the boat.
And find taxi or find an Uber, or we had the scooters, but it wasn't always comfortable because of the distance of how far we were from the supermarket.
And the amount of food that we got. So if we got a lot of food, we couldn't go in the scooters.
We couldn't go in the scooters. We would provision, we would buy groceries. Oh, look at these cute dogs.
Hola, pelitos.
With provision, we would try to buy groceries, as much groceries as we could, maybe 1, 2, or even when we were in the Bahamas, we would try to do like 3 months apart when we had to buy groceries, the provisioning. But that meant that we could only enjoy fresh fruits and fresh vegetables for like 2 weeks. And then after that, it was all canned foods. Right now that we're in land, we're like, oh my God, it's so amazing to be able to just drive 5 minutes, 2 minutes to the grocery store and get an ice cream. Number
7.
7.
So, this one is a tough one. I know, I'm pretty sure it happens to everyone that owns a boat. It's mosquitoes. And when you don't have AC at night and there's mosquitoes and there's no wind and then it starts raining, you can even have the nets and they'll come inside your boat.
Yeah.
You'll start like, and since you don't have AC, you have to leave the windows open no matter what. If not, you're gonna cook inside your boat.
When you're sleeping and you have the hatches open and you're like at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., it starts raining and you get the rain all over you and it's like, okay, wake up, close the hatches, go around the boat, close the hatches. Like, it's just annoying. And that leads us to point number 8, which is that you're 100%, whether you like it or not, it's very unfortunate, you're going to become a lighter sleeper. Everything that like happens on the boat, it becomes something that you think about at night. Like whether it's raining, right? So the rain falls in your head, you start losing the ability to sleep the 8 or 9 hours every night of sleep. Whether it's the mosquitoes, whether it's because you're dragging anchor and you're worried about, you know, dragging anchor in the middle of the night. So you have to, because the anchor alarm rings, or just because you're worried at the beginning, especially at the beginning.
It's windy and
you have a storm.
Yeah. Or that the boat starts swinging and then you don't know like who's around.
The dogs gave us that feeling of safety, of security, that, you know, we knew that if someone came on the boat that they would start barking and going crazy. And so that gave us a lot of sense of safety. And for me, once we didn't have them the last 2 or 3 months that we were on the boat, I would wake up at night and ask Alejo, like, oh my God, I heard something, someone's up on deck, or things like that. And point number 9.
Comfort. You always are gonna lose a little bit of comfort because in a house, you have big spaces, you have AC, you have the car, you have unlimited water, you have unlimited power. In the boat, it's very different. So you're limited to how much power you have. You're limited as to how much water you can make or have.
Yeah, if you have a yacht and you have crew, because if you have crew, it changes everything. When you don't have crew, which is like our case, we never had crew. We always did everything by ourselves since the moment that we started living on the boat. You have to do everything. That means that you're responsible for cleaning, responsible for fixing, responsible for working, because we had to continue working. And even then you have the pressure that you still want to have fun, because you're like, well, I bought this boat, I'm here, like I've sailed I don't know how many thousand miles to come to this place. I can't just sit here and work. I have to make sure that I go out and enjoy, and that. So you have to be the person that does everything, the good, the bad, the enjoyment, the not so good about like cleaning or doing whatever. And last but not least, point number 10.
10. What is it?
Point number 10 is that it's still an expensive lifestyle. So even if, you know, you're doing everything yourself, you're repairing everything yourself, just in general, like owning a boat is more expensive than owning a house, just because if you were to buy a cable at Home Depot, the exact same cable, and you have to buy it for a boat in some marine shop, they're gonna charge you like 5 times more just because it's like marine. So repairs, parts, upgrades, anything that you want to do to the boat is just going to be more expensive and more money than if you were to just kind of live in your house and have to do those, you know, repairs or anything like that.
Also, like the islands are not as cheap as mainland because they have to import things to land. So yeah, everything is gonna be more expensive, from fuel to food to water.
Yes.
To anything that you just want to get, everything is gonna be more expensive.
Yeah. So I hope you have enjoyed us telling you the not so positive side of living on a boat. Try to be as honest, as transparent as possible, because sometimes everything seems so perfect and you kind of focus on the good and then don't really see the other side of things, or it's so much easier to just share the good, like I said before. That being said, we still love living on the boat. We still love the ocean. We still love the access that it gives us to living all these amazing experiences that we talked about before. Would we have done it again? I think it was, you know, the perfect timing. We did it for 3 amazing years. We enjoyed every second of it, and you know, now it's like a different stage of our lives, where now obviously we have a baby on the way, so now we have to figure out how to make things work. So we're trying to like figure out our lifestyle situation so that we still enjoy the ocean as much as we want to, because we love the ocean. It's part of our lives, it's essential to us. But definitely we have come to the conclusion that living full-time on the boat, it's not something that we want to continue doing, especially not with a baby. We cannot imagine having baby, having dogs, keeping up a boat, having to work, and doing all that at the same time. It's just a lot, and it's not something that we're willing to go through. Some of you guys probably want to see my belly. Woo! It's getting bigger. Today we are turning 34 weeks. That means we are 8 months and a half. Tomorrow we will have the baby shower of the baby, which is really, really exciting. We will have friends, family, and then we're moving. So tomorrow is the baby shower, and then the following day we're moving to our new house, where we're gonna actually settle down and get ready all the stuff for the baby and prepare for the upcoming of the new member of the family, Tomas. That's his name, Thomas. Thomas in English, Tomas in Spanish. And yep, it's exciting. We can't wait. Looking forward to it. But I think that's it. Oh, there's Alejo, ready to bring in the car, to pull out the thingy.